Hello, greetings, YouTubers and the Groovers. It is us, the Behringer brothers, on Take the Fear Out the Gear. However, today we are sort of talking about Behringer. You better just stick around and check we. So in the comments, Simon has brought it to my attention, because he reads more than I do, that somebody said, why don't you do video on the cousins and sisters of Behringer, i.e. the other companies that Behringer own, if you like. You've got TC Electronics, you've got Turbo Sound, you've got Clark Technics, you've got Midas,
Tannoy, the list goes on, yeah.
The list, Behringer ain't just Behringer anymore. It's the music tribe. It's a huge, great conglomerate kahuna. Anyway, so today we're focusing on TC Electronics because everybody knows TC Electronics. So what we're doing is today's bargains on TC Electronics. So have a little look at some. So we will go to the very first object, which is what?
And this is interesting. I didn't know these existed. This is called the TC Electronic Clarity M, and what it is, it's like a little 7-inch screen, and it obviously comes with the software, and it's got all your mastering meters and tools and stuff. It's got apparently a very famous LM6 loudness meter. It's got your true peak meters. You can use it for 5.1 surround mixing as well, and I'm pretty sure it does phase and everything like that as well.
Well,
all in one box.
If it does phase, I'm buying one because I do not possess or own a phase meter. The only thing that had a phase meter on was my finalizer, and that weren't a very good phase meter. But as you know, my finalizer, that's TC Electronics.
That is TC Electronics, yeah.
That's I think the power supply is going on that, so I can't use that. So I do need a phase meter, so I'm very tempted. How much are these things?
Well, they were 305, but they're on special at 259.
So what? Do we know the size of the screen?
7-inch screen.
7-inch screen.
Yes.
That's something that look very fancy on top of your mixing desk.
And for those people who don't want to or don't need the facility for 5.1 mixing, there is a Clarity which is slightly cheaper. I think it's around 229.
So it's just stereo, yeah?
Yeah, which is
all you need.
Yeah, for us it would be fine because we don't do 5.1. So that's even more of a bargain, that one, if you just want stereo.
You might say, well, if you got a door, what we need it for? You got all your meters and everything. Well, I'm talking about recording in my analogue studio with a mixing desk, which would be very useful.
It would be, yeah, definitely.
For checking phasing at least, but then I can hear phasing with my ears. However, not everyone can.
And then the next one, oh yes, we've actually got one of these. We use it in the band. It's so cheap. It's called the TC BQ500. It's like a tiny little bass amp, and it's 500 watts. It sounds awesome, and the price is £199.
Yeah,
it's just so cheap, and it's a very good piece of kit.
Can you imagine, like years ago, you say, right, I've got to go out and buy an amp for my bass rig. You'd want £1,000 in your pocket at least.
Exactly, like the one down here, the Trace Elliott.
Yeah, my 500 watt.
Yeah.
You need to be muscle man to carry that around. Good grief. But that's the one with the ultraviolet light. It's sexy, I like it.
Yeah, but if you just want to get a bass amp and put it in your pocket, literally, because it's very small, or in your bag, that's the one for you, and it's so cheap.
Yeah, and they work well. We gig it. It's fine. Yeah. Absolutely fine. I personally have got the behringer, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, it's another Behringer company.
2 kilowatt. Woo!
And then we've got the this one's a TC Electronic pedal. This is called the Ditto X4 or ×4.
A Ditto should give you a clue.
It's a looper pedal, and they've come down in price. They're 159. So if you're into your looping, grab a bargain on that one.
And that's TC Electronics, by the way. Good company. So now you know how good Behringer is because they're all part of it. See?
And then the next one is another pedal. We've got one of these. I think we've got the version 1 of these. It's the Juno 60 Chorus.
Yes.
From the famous Roland keyboard. This is the V2 version, and it's down to around £60. So there's a deal on that one as well.
So if you've got an old Roland amp that looks like the Roland chorus amp, but it's not the chorus one, just buy that pedal, and there you go. You've got it.
You've got your special chorus.
You got it.
And then this one hadn't a clue these even existed. These are called the TC Teleport. And you think, well, have they invented, Star Trek technology? Well, what it is, it's two little boxes, and basically what it lets you do, if you plug your guitar into one box, and then an XLR cable between the two, you can go 300 feet across the stage or hall or whatever you're using, and you don't lose any signal quality. So if you want to do a long cable run, and these little boxes are about £20 each.
Which is cheap. I mean, personally, I think it's a bad idea to have a long stretch of cable in any situation. But then on big stages, who knows why you might need that. And it's a handy thing to have, isn't it?
Or if you're in, if you're like, we're watching a lot of these church, this guy doing church mixes, if you've got a case where you need to run a cable for a long stretch and you haven't got anything, that would be ideal.
Because more often than not, they're up in the gods and the stages all the way down there. All the gods. That was a pun on church.
Well done.
Hallelujah.
And then these ones, we're not really going to give you any prices, but there's a few other things that TC Electronics does. They do their native plug-in collection of all your famous, delays and everything else. And I was looking on the prices on the website. Seems to start for $9.
Yeah.
All the way up to probably about $200, depending on what you want. So there's a few bargains on there at the moment.
Go on YouTube if you want to check them out. There'll be people displaying them, and they're bound to be demos of them.
Yeah, no, we have got some of the TC Electronics plugins there. They are good.
Yes.
And talking about plugins, these are called the Icon Remote Series, and these are like little hardware controllers that work with the plugins.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to mouse around on your computer...
Yeah, mouse around is a great word. Yeah. Stop mousing around, will you?
Yeah, you can just have them in a little rack on your mixing desk, all controls, and they'll just link to your computer and control all your plugins.
I like that idea.
I do,
because it goes back to hands-on again, rather than touch screen and mousing around, which I like. I like that word, mousing around.
And then this one, we're just going to leave you this one, because this is TC Electronics do a few more bits. But this is like a little monitor. It's called the monitor control technology. I think what you can do with this, you can link it up to your studio active speakers.
Yeah.
And that controls and does all kinds of magic and that if you want it to.
Got to look into this. I've got to look into this because it's something I'm very interested in.
Yeah, if anyone's interested, we'll do a little bit more of a dive into that one and find out. How
much? We don't know a price on this, do we?
I think there's two parts to the system. I think one of the rack mount boxes is, I did see earlier, maybe £150, £200, so it's not huge money. It
could end up being about £300 then.
Yeah,
for the pair. Maybe. We're only guessing.
If you're interested, we'll find out for you.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now then is, apart from go and make a cup of tea and edit these videos for you lovely people, is maybe on by what our guy said in that comment, is maybe look at Clark Technic and Midas and Turbo Sound and Tannoy. So we might do some diving in and finding out what they've got to offer. Yeah?
Yeah, and we should say shorts, shouldn't we?
Who?
Shorts. Have you got your shorts?
Oh, yeah, Simon's been busy this morning making short videos for the short section of YouTube, so you might just finally see one pop up. However, if you watch us regularly, you'd have seen it all before, but they're just little shorts. Thanks again for watching, boys and girls. I've been Jason Bangers.
And I've been Mr. Chumley Warner.
We are the Behringer Brothers on
Take the Fear Out the Gear.
And we'll see you next time. We'll have more Behringer, maybe some Clark Technic, maybe some Turbo Sound, maybe some Midas. I could go on and on and on. But thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have. We'll see you on the next video. Protect our Behringers, everybody. And don't forget, check we.